Now, pre-warning, he is a real estate agent, but he's the only good one I've ever seen or found or met. So
thank you, mate.
No disrespect to the rest of them, but that's the truth. But Craig's a legend. He's the man who, well, you helped us get our home, mate. Yeah. Our little piece of paradise. Where is it? Like, yeah, it's only a couple hundred meters from the beach. It's unreal. And so just a bit of background, guys. I've known Craig for, well, nearly 6 years. Nearly 6 years now. And we've always kept in touch here and there. Sometimes it's been long bouts, sometimes short bouts between our catch-ups, but they've always been really, I've found, Craig, they've been with a level of depth that you don't see very often.
Yeah.
Which is really funny, guys, because when it comes to, I guess, connection in general, Craig was right from the get-go very truthful and honest in helping us, secure our dream. It's what we wanted. And for me, that's how I work. Like, if someone like that shows that to me right from the get-go, well, I guess they're on the inner circle.
Yeah.
Until further notice. But it's awesome to have you on, Craig, and thanks for joining us, mate.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, it's great having people like you in my life. I did a podcast with Shannon, who you know as well.
Yeah.
And that was a great podcast that we did together. And
yeah, we met through Mother's Group.
That's right. Yeah, you did too.
It was probably a little bit before that with him when he was working professionally down here at Erin Affair, but we really probably bonded in Mother's Group.
How was he? How was he in Mother's Group?
Yeah, he's Shannon. What else?
Not much has changed.
No, not much has changed. Shout out, Shannon.
That's right. When you listen to this, mate, don't put anything extra in the Mojo or Night Rider, mate. Yeah. We're both taking it. So it's mate, it's been what, 10 years? You've got a little girl, is that right?
Yeah, 10 years. Yeah.
10
years. Yeah, she's 10 going on 37. It's we were late starters in life, so I was 38, and I think Carla was coming to 41. Yeah, so we being a late starter, and that was because we'd moved back from overseas. We were never going to have children. Like, we were always going to be live professionally, but they were decisions that we made when we were living abroad. When we came back to Australia, I mean, this is just such a great country to live, breathe, and thrive in. So it was, why not contribute back to mankind? When we leave our little piece of Kiva on the world.
Whereabouts were you travelling, or where were you working?
Well, I was originally born and bred here on the Central Coast. I got boarding school, then went on a holiday. Travelled where I thought I was going to do a 3-month holiday. I ended up in Europe for 5 years. At that time, I was hospitality driven, so I really sort of was, in my mind, I was actually going to come back and be in power venue management. So like Port and Pavilions, all the big stuff. And then I got back and everything changed for me. It was just, I think it was 28 at the time when I arrived, I think, when we got back. And no, I beg your pardon, in my 30s it was when I got back. And it was just, I don't know, like there was something in me that switched that, I wanted a better life. Than I wanted to see the sun, and, I wanted to do more experiences, but not just necessarily travel the world. And we picked here in, the Central Coast because it's, without being biased to the rest of the world, I mean, it's a pretty good place. Weather's great. It's not too hot. It's not too cold. It's not too humid. We got the beach just here. We got the mountains just there. So it's, and it's close to Sydney. So you can have your ride. And then, one thing led to another, and here I am in real estate.
It's fascinating. You just to set the stage on this, guys, like, Craig's a phenomenal businessman, and everything that I've ever seen you do, mate, has been done with an ethic and an integrity that you don't see very often in any industry, let alone, we spoke earlier about this, how it can be hard in the real estate game.
Yeah.
I think it can be hard both ways, because there'd be a lot of couples, families, people in general, acting like wankers and really being, in a state of pressuring and not being ideal customers in this area. And that's not judging the person, it's their actions. I've seen that pressure around real estate, building, buying, selling.
Oh yeah.
It'd be a pretty crazy market, but you seem to have held your own and maintained as a great man, where I think we spoke about, a lot of people would well, they cave in, they change.
Yeah.
And again, this isn't castrating the industry. It's just there are a lot of real estate agents I've met who've just blown me off. I say that in the nicest possible way. Didn't mean that, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
They've just really sort of, you'll be right, mate. And, but
not taking you seriously.
Yeah,
you've got to take everybody seriously, mate. Like colour creed, wherever you're coming from, like you just got to, you never judge the book by its cover. You just don't know who you're talking to at the time. You just don't know and you don't know where that's going to come up later in your life, because stuff comes up later, and it does, And it's I remember you, People don't forget. They might forgive, but they don't forget.
Yeah, it's an interesting point. Couldn't agree more. And that's just to set the stage for this episode, guys. What I was saying is that's what I wanted to talk about. That a bit of your background, what you've done in work, in business, the pressures of being a father later in life, and all of the above, mate, and how that encases who you are, who you choose to be, even amidst everything that's happened with COVID and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
How you stay true to you and continually invest in you, which we touched on before we started this in yourself, because you've given so much. But mate, what was it like getting into real estate? How did you do that, and what was the driver there?
Mate, it's pretty simple. I was in running service departments, and to do service departments and management rights, you needed a real estate license. The real estate license, when we left after we sold that business, I just recall I actually didn't know what I was going to do afterwards. I just knew I didn't want to go back to hospitality. Like I tried to go in, the later nights, and took myself back there. Could I stand there, and could I go back into the nightlife? And I didn't want to do that again. And that industry's changed so much just because of the way drinks are made right now, the way drugs are, from a social point of view, and it's standing, So it's become a real, how do I put it? It's become a really tough industry for that one. So I remember talking to Carla, my wife, and I just said, so I actually don't know what I'm going to do. For the first time in my life, I actually don't know what to do. So we're packing up and we're making a move, and she opens the drawer and she goes, I just found your real estate license. Why don't you go be a real estate agent? And I was like, do you know what people think about real estate agents? I said, there's no way I'm actually going to put real estate agent after my name. And she just said to me, don't put real estate agent on your card. And I was like, oh, I never looked at it like that. So from there into training, went into it. And it's really, I love people. And I do like to have a chat, as you know. So for me, it was just switching a lane from hospitality, where it's always people, always meeting someone different, always experiencing something different with it. In real estate, the same. It's just that same kind of thing. You're just dealing with different pressures. That's all. And I've been there where I've started as an agent, come from an agent, gone into being a business owner. And as you know, I've just come out of being a business owner. And I'm just back to being a contractor agent, and life couldn't be better. I got all the pressure of business that I didn't really realise how much pressure was on me until I actually let it go, and how much now opportunity, and how much my life is, how much time I'm off for my family, like my health, how much weight's just come off me without too much effort because my stress levels are down. Like, it's pretty incredible. As I said to you earlier, I'm the most relaxed I've been in such a long time.
It's fascinating, mate. Like the big thing I got from that just then was your perspective around it, and both how Carla helped you sort of see that. And that's something that I found naturally. That's what draws me to people, their perspective and their actions. Your perspective and your actions. You've got a great perspective outlook. Generally, more often than not, the actions will follow. Not always, but will follow. And that's an incredible way to look at it. Because I've thought about that. My pop said that to me years ago. He's like, mate, get your real estate license, blah, blah, blah. I was like, Pop, same as you. And again, this isn't hacking on agents. It was just like, nah, Pop, it's just like, it's like politics, right? Everyone's just like, it's slimy and this and that, and you never know what you're going to get, blah, blah, blah. And as a story I created in my head, the reality is I would fucking crush it in the real estate game. I know I would. I absolutely, because I can connect with people.
Yes.
And that's why you've crushed it so much, mate, because you've connected with me, and I have a high scope of seeing and understanding in my own experiences, connection, people having that awareness. And it's interesting, mate. Do you think there's obviously other facets, but what else has led to you having that line of success, both professionally, but within yourself in loving what you do as well?
Yeah, great question. For me, like I learned a long time ago, just stay in your own lane. You got to. At school as a young bloke, I was bullied a bit because I probably matured a little bit later than everybody else, and that sort of taught me to stand up for myself. Like you got to stand up for yourself. And I'm not saying you go and bully everybody else and give everyone a whack, but what I'm saying is you got to. I drew a line one day that I just didn't want that in my life anymore, and I wasn't going to tolerate that anymore. And I made it very clear that I wasn't going to do that. And that sort of, when you flick that switch in yourself, that helped me change who I am. That's when I started not worrying about what I did that probably in my teens. I don't care what you think about me. It's not my business what you actually think about me. It's really not. Then if that's what you want to do and what you want to choose to do, that's fine. That if that's what people want to think about you, and if that's what who's listening here, that's what they think about you. But it's really not your business, because usually they've got it wrong. What they think about you and the rumours they talk about you. So I just learned, stay in your own lane, stay true to yourself, keep evolving yourself. Don't ever stop evolution. Don't ever stop training. Don't ever stop learning. Don't ever stop, growing your soul, because life changes and you've got to go into that. Otherwise, you will stagnate. And I find that's where people, in my experience, go bitter. They go sour. And then it's, poor me, start kicking the can. And then, I don't know, let's go and attack the people that are being successful. And most people I know who are successful, they work fucking hard. Sorry, I wasn't sure if I'd F-bomb or not. But they work hard to get where they've been. And no one sees all the preamble coming into that. Like it's taken me 15 years to get to this point in real estate. Like it's just not overnight. Yes, sure, I drive a nice car, and sure, I got a nice house, and sure, my kids in great schools. But I work my fucking ass off for that. Absolutely work my ass off for that, so that my kids and my family can have a better life. And those around me, I can help contribute in their lives should they choose to, action with what I'm saying. And if not, you know what, Al? That's cool with me. There's plenty of other people that out there that want to be a part of that and want that influence in their life. If you don't, that's cool. That's cool. And I think where a lot of people struggle there, it's struggle with that part. Saying, oh, that's cool if you don't want to be a part of it. Oh, that's cool if you don't want to be around that. Because I see that in real dad movement too. Like I can just see that there'd be the naysayers out there going, yeah. And I'm sure there's going to be some naysayers in here that are going to be listening to this, but whatever. Get on another channel.
Yeah. It's, mate, it's awesome. And I couldn't agree more. The greatest thing that I see in all of that is the willingness to change. Ever since I was young, that's all I've seen and heard, this big stigma about people don't like change. I'm like, which people? Which people? I fucking love change. Yeah. And RDM's going amazing. We're crushing it in all areas. Absolutely, that book you're just holding up, Problem Power too. The different books we have, obviously the supplements, everything. It's going phenomenal. But even then, I still wanted to change. Because if it stays the same, Craig, and I'm 45 and then 55 and 65, what's happened? I've regressed. Yeah. Because I'm stealing more time being the version I've already reached.
Yeah, that's where regret comes in.
Yeah, 100%. Absolutely.
I find most people regret comes in for something you didn't do. Not usually for something you do, because I've done some silly things in my life, and I'm actually glad I did them. I never do them again, but I don't ever regret doing them. I've always regretted the stuff that I didn't do.
Yeah, it's really interesting, isn't it? I heard that so long ago that I forgot it, and I can absolutely see that, because I'm the same. There are plenty of things, learning curves. It's all learning.
It is.
It's failure if you completely give up, and I know both of us are neither of that. So,
because I think as dads, we owe it to our families, and we owe it to our friends, and we owe it to our networks, because we're here to, yes, it's all about work and it's hard and money, and yes, we've got to earn and we've got to contribute to society, but we owe it to our families to lead them through that. Like we really do.
Yeah, leadership in its own way is something that, as a father, it's a special gift. Just like women and mothers lead in their own way too. And
absolutely, they do.
I don't know, man. I can't speak for myself, because, with my life, my family, having brothers, my mother and father, we were always challenge, whether it was sport, anything. It was great. It was a great environment. And I can't speak for my children on what they see and how they see me. I just don't know how it would be as a child becoming an adult, seeing your father just stop or give up or give in.
Yeah.
I don't know, mate.
I have friends who have seen their parents do that, and it's devastating for them. It's devastating for them as a child. The child's not going to know what to do. You know, I've got friends of mine who are a little bit broken from that. You know, and they've actually pulled themselves through that, and they've always said in their life they never want to see that, and they never want to be that. But that would be an action from their parents pushing themselves too hard in life to give their family what is the best as well. Because society's got this idea for us, right, about what we should be doing, and you know what we should be, you know, and what comes down the phone of this of what's right and what's not, and what's real, it's what not, and how do you decipher all that? Like, that's a lot of intake. Oh, it's that way now, isn't it?
Yeah,
it's that way. It's that way. I'm doing that way. That's something else that was pre my era. We had to go to nightclubs for that.
Instead of swiping left or right.
Yeah, that's right. We had to go meet your own. Had to go meet people. Yeah,
meet people.
Yeah, but yeah, so it's really that, you know. So you know, it's, you know, and they always say in work-life balance, and this was one of the things that that I've always, whenever I've tried to get into the work-life balance, and especially when being in business, like work-life balance is when you're setting up a business, and I'm watching you do this right now, the pendulum just goes,
yeah, and
you are just flat out there. It doesn't swing back. You know what I mean? Usually it swings back when you break a bit, but it's not like you're in the middle and it's perfect and I'm getting up at 6 and I'm going. Like that comes a lot later in life from when you're setting up. So I'm not saying in your life that you shouldn't push through, because there are times in your life you've got to push. If you want the next bit, don't wait for it to come to you. You got to go get it.
Yeah.
You have to go get it. And sometimes there are sacrifices, yes. And sometimes those around you don't like the sacrifices that you're making for that, but they're bloody glad that they're there on the other side when you made that. They always are.
Yeah.
That's if they can wait, because there's that too.
Yeah. In the modern world, instant gratification.
It's not here. I want iPhone, I want it now.
Yeah,
tick, tick, tick.
Exactly.
Yeah, you know.
It's I like the way that you explain that too with the pendulum. That is how I feel right now, and feelings are okay. Like I've got no issue sharing this with all of you guys as well. Like that's how I feel. Like I've got this monstrous empire I can build, but at what cost? And my feelings don't have to determine my reality. They don't have to drive my actions.
No.
But it's about reflecting, which I have on this board here. You know, what's the one thing that I need to focus on for myself? There's 3, what we talk about in RDMs, circles of significance.
Yeah.
There's 3 of them: family, self, and service.
Yeah.
That's it. That's what makes our life. Family, self, and service. A lot of the times we forget ourselves. We sacrifice for the greater good, give, and all of a sudden it's like, fuck, I'm picking up the pieces of my own life. What's left of me? Who am I?
You're usually last.
You know? Yeah.
Yeah.
And
I've been through that last part. You're usually last. Yeah,
and that's
and really you should be first if you want to drive the rest of that, to be able to give that much energy and that much focus. But unfortunately, the health and the time and the everything, unfortunately, does go the wayside until you actually do break.
Yeah,
you know.
And then you realise, like you said, if you invest in yourself first, then you can give more to those around you.
Absolutely, it's hard to do sometimes because those around you don't necessarily understand that at the time when you're doing it either, because they've got their needs and their wants too. But again, as leadership in it, that's what this is what I need right now as a person. This is what I need. And so you need to let me have that. You know, you need to understand that so I can give you the better part of me, you know, because otherwise you're not going to get that. And then you're probably going to say that shit and you're going to go.
Shannon calls it selfing, not selfish.
Oh, so selfing, does he?
He's like, I'm selfing.
Yeah.
But it's the truth, though. And that's what I love, because you guys will hear that message from me. You're hearing it from Craig. You would have heard it last week from Shannon. And a lot of the guests that we have on, you know, aligned to different areas of life or not, the message is the same, because the people that I bring into my environment are the people who have that same foundational truth, which is exactly what you said, evolving. You weren't going to go into hospitality. You went into real estate. You shifted the whole perspective around how you saw yourself. And that's, guess what? Just Craig Fisher, an awesome bloke, fucking rocking up and doing his thing. It's exactly what we saw, mate. Yeah. Exactly what we saw. And it was such a great experience for us when we got our home. Yeah. Moving 7 times in 4 years, a fucking nightmare with Corinne and like for her, and with Corinne, like all of us and our dogs, and how can we find a place. And to have that was an absolute dream. Yeah. And like you said, it just rings through. And people do remember good, bad, and the ugly. And I think the reason why you are where you are now, sorry, I know, is because you've built that foundation.
Yeah.
What happened with that? So you got in, you started your business, Rain and Horn, wasn't it?
Yeah, Rain and Horn, yeah.
And how long did you have that for? Walk us through the process of that, what it was like, and then you getting out and selling or why you sold and whatnot.
Yeah, okay. So there was this part where, the evolution of training, they were saying that, for when you retire now as a real estate agent, the next thing you need to build is a rent roll. So the idea was go and build the rent roll, do that, buy it, acquire, because to build something that's cash flow, to keep the cash flow positive within the business, like it's not just to have 80 property managers, you've got to have like 500, 700. So Carla and I, we built that over 10 years. And if I look back on it now, if I'd known now what I knew before, like I really probably didn't need to do that. But that was just something that in real estate training, they said that's what you needed to do to check out, because when you wanted to retire, you sold it and that was your nest egg, right? But the industry's changed now. Like you don't need that. Like it's still a great thing, don't get me wrong, but real estate's really become a brand. Like you're the brand. Like you're the brand of RDM. You know what I mean? Like, so you really become your own brand within this. And yes, the actual brands like the Rain and Horns and all the other franchises, yes, it's important as an anchor to be there, but it's not a necessity to be there. But I feel the consumer still probably needs a little bit know that they're connected to something that they know. But the letting go of that, like I said, I didn't realise after 10 years just how much that had come onto us and how much that was really dragging us down. Because it was literally by the end of the first week, I was a different man. I just couldn't believe how quick I'd changed. Like it was really it was a bit of a shock for me, because there's this part of me that thought, shit, I should have done that earlier. To have more time, because now I'm looking at my daughter who's 10, like last minute she was 4, then she was 6, and then it's kind of like she was 10, and I was like, where did that little bit go? Yeah, so I owe it to them, as my family as well, to get more time back in there. But I actually really enjoy this industry, mate. So it's, for me, it's not like I get up in the morning and go, oh God, I've got to go do it again. I love getting out of bed and going to do what I do. Yeah, I really do. And, I think we talked about this off air before. I'll say it that way. So there's been this misconception again out there that if you want to be successful in your life, you've actually got to go be a business owner, and then you've succeeded and you are the master of your own life, right? But as a business owner, like you can actually become a prisoner of that fucker. And you're not actually living, mate. Like you have the right, say you're right to do your own hours. Sure. You have the right to do the 15 hours that you want to do through that day. You know what I mean? Like the rest of you, okay, I'm going now. See ya. And then you're like, oh, okay, now I'm here doing the rest of the work. So I'm not saying to be successful in your life, you have to be a business owner either. What I'm saying is be happy with what you go out and do, but utilize that cash flow maybe to go out and be happy in your life. Because that's all we're really doing, right? But it all got spun on its head for some reason. Like that's not living. Like I realised when I look back, I wasn't living, mate. I was just existing, running a business, and that's not fair to me in hindsight. Like if I talk about the selfing, that's not fair to my family as well. Like so. But yeah, well, be clever with what you do outside your job, your career, your calling. Be clever in that space, because we all need cash. Like there's no getting away from it. We need money to live. Like if it was potatoes, I'm sure I'd be out getting potatoes, but it's actually money. So we all need money, but it's what you choose to do outside of that for the happiness. Because that might have to be a little bit, you have to make the sacrifice to make the money. You're not necessarily, it's wowed you, but you're good at it. Well, you do that and go and live your life out there with it, because we all can't be business owners. Yeah. And I think COVID's proved that. There's a lot of people going to go tits up because of it. Yeah. And I just on that with the COVID, if there was any time I feel right now that you could make a pivotal turning point in your life, fucking now's that time. Why not? Fuck it.
Yeah,
go and do something else. Like, people aren't going to blame you, because I'm sure there's a lot of ego out there. I shouldn't change what I'm doing because what people are going to think of me. I've done this is what I've done. This is what I'm always going to do. But COVID's going to force a lot of people's hands. I've got mates of mine that are just going to go and do something completely different to what they do. And they rang me and they said, I'm going to do this. And I'm like, cool. Like, I'd have never thought I was going to see you go and do that. But why not? What's forced your hand on that? I just COVID, mate. Like, I'm just saying this is my chance to go and make the change. And because I could see you could become a victim here quite easily after this. Oh, I lost my job. Oh, poor me. Oh, I can see the spiral coming into that. Now, I'm not saying it's easy to get out of that, because the spiral is a hard thing in your mindset to get out of, because sometimes you don't even know you're in it, right? The fog's on you, or you're in the dark hole, and everyone around you can kind of see it, but you're the last to see it until someone says, mate, you're in a bit of a hole. But this would be a great time now, and this is what I found through COVID. It was a good time to reflect.
Yes. Yeah.
Like, I had time to sit there and think. Like, I got to know my family again. I'm sure there are people out there that got to know their family again, and there's going to be new children coming in the next 9 months. I'm sure that's going to go again. Yeah, you got to each other go. But how long has it been since they've done that? Like, that could be because we're all say, I've got to go to work. High five. The kids are doing that. Like, we're all doing the high five. But maybe this is a great time for everyone to slow it down a bit,
and reflect, and
but just slow life down a bit, because it's very easy to. Look, I'm already feeling myself starting to ramp back up after this, and it's only been in our 4th Saturday after the COVID fog's lifted a bit.
Yeah, wow.
And I can already feel myself getting pulled into that vortex again. So take the time. If this is if you're thinking you got to reinvent yourself now, fucking do it. Why not? What a great excuse. If you needed an excuse to do something, it was COVID.
Yeah. And life has changed. That's what people don't realise. They just don't. The one constant, the one thing will always be the same is change throughout your life, mate.
Yes.
And
that's the one constant.
Change. One constant change. It's such a funny, a dichotomy the way some people might look at it, mate. The two sides of the coin. And the greatest thing that you were saying in there is how people can apply that true power to their life, which is learn, understand, educate, do something, take some action, and then reflect. And if they keep doing that, even in these times, they're going to be presented with opportunities they never thought existed.
I'm so looking forward to that. Well, what is going to be in the world now? What's this brave new world being born? Like, it's going to be an incredible time to be around and witness that. It really is. I know there's been some unfortunate. There'll be some unfortunate people who lost their jobs, and businesses are going to close, and there's probably people who are going to need to sell their house because they're going to be in hardship and all that. But again, what a great time to reinvent yourself. Life's not over.
Exactly.
Life's just getting started. What are you going to do with that moment in time to drive yourself out of it? Because you can. You just got to choose to.
It's always an option, mate.
Absolutely.
If we're in a position where we had to do that, and we had to sell our house, and we had to rent and do something else, we'd be like, oh, so be it. We'll find another way. That's the big thing for me. Even when the fires hit at the start of the year, and there's heaps of tragedy. I want everyone to understand
it was biblical, mate.
Yeah. Like, where we're coming from in this line is about what you can do. It's not about judging people for their feelings. That's real, especially when it comes to things like the fires and this virus and all this sort of shit, how much you do or don't believe. But I said that at the start of this year, mate. You want the greatest security in your life, invest in yourself. You will be the greatest security ever. Mate,
I agree with you more.
RDM could fold tomorrow and I would create something else that would be fucking magnificent because of how much I've invested in myself in the last 20 years, Craig. Like,
absolutely.
Talk about a slave, mate. I feel like a slave for the last 10 years with gyms, made zero money, got into debt, heaps of the stories I'll have. And it's not that I don't want to share them. It's just that I want to make sure that it's A, not raw, and B, it's got a great purpose. What I'll share and what I've gone through in the last few years with people in 5-10 years time, they'll be like, wow, Al was going through that.
Yeah.
It all looked good on the front, and not from me, from what people perceive. You're a business owner, so you're successful, right?
Right.
You run or you're fit and healthy, so you're kicking ass. Or you live near the beach and life's amazing for you. They have no fucking idea, do they, mate? But,
unfortunately, no. Unfortunately, I wish they did, but there's only one way they're going to do it. They could, but they could. They just need to get up and go and have a go. So just get up and have a go.
Yeah, and
what is it they say? It's not how you fall down; it's how you get back up.
Yeah, I like that.
Like, that's what you got to do. And I think Steve Jobs said it best. Life is always going to just punch you in the face. It will slap you in the face, like it really will. But you've got to ask yourself, right? So I've got that slap. So I've got to mark that in time. So what do I do to deserve that slap? What can I do better to get myself moving away from this moment in time that I'm in right now? Can I use that as a driver? Can I refocus the energy? I don't know. Can I rechannel that? You know, don't do that again. I don't know. Do that again. I don't know. You might like getting slapped. I don't know. But you know what I mean? Like, it's just you have the right to, or the choice in your mind to do what you want. Like you really do. Sometimes it's just hard to do. That's all. I'm not saying it's easy. Because it's not. Because sometimes the wind can come right out. I've had the wind come out of my sails a couple of times, and he's like, fuck, you know, here we go again, reset. But you know what? You can do that. The human body is a marvelous thing. We can do that. The human mind is a marvelous thing. You just got to want to get up and do it. This is a good starting point. Health.
Yeah, health.
Absolutely, mate. It's number one. Yeah. Health, happiness, the rest can follow.
Yeah. Yeah, physical body is so important. Not that you have to be stage ready, but just investing in your own health, mate, because that's life's energy, right? So if you've got more energy, well, then you're going to think and feel differently and better about yourself and what you can do. And you know, it's something where, do you feel like I know you said that 10 years might have seen you look back like, oh, maybe I should have done it earlier, but it's not that you have to learn something for 40 years, but does it make you value it more though, Craig?
Yeah.
You know, you went through, like for me, the trials and tribulations of running gyms, oh man, it's such a sweet victory that I have right now. And it's hard work. Like you said, I get punched in the face every day. Yeah. But I don't look at it that way. I don't even look at them as roadblocks. They're just speed humps now. What do I do to get over that? What do I need to do to get over that? How do I get over that?
Yeah. Everything's a challenge. What's the solution?
Yeah, exactly. But I don't think I would have that resilience and tenacity to just keep on attacking instead of defending the right way. Not macho shit.
Yeah, I get the analogy.
Yeah, do you feel the same like with that? Because you did spend 10 years in your business, now you're out of the business in how you are now? Or what? Yeah. What's the mindset like now? Because you've gone through it, you've earned your stripes, you're now starting business, you've got the freedom. Like how are you now with everything?
Yeah, well, I'm at peace. Like I got to being at peace faster than I thought I would, because there was this little part of me that, like, so if I'm, so that was 48. So I went from 38 to 48 to build that, to try and think that I could do it again from 48 to 58. Could I do that again? Probably I could, you know, but would I have the energy to do that again? Because, you know, as we all know, everything declines as you get older. It's just the reality of that. You know, it's a different life right now. So, you know, could I imagine trying to build something off the back of COVID? Probably could, because it's probably a great time to do it. But it's the fact now, would I want to do that with my time? It's where do I want to spend my time now? Because I've worked out in real estate, like if I was to truly put it how I see it, I'm in the business of helping people make a lot of money. I make great money from it too, but I'm in that business of helping people make. If I give you the right advice, steer you in the right direction, you do that in a certain amount of time down the road, you sell, you're going to make money. And it won't be a little bit, it'll be a lot, right? As long as you're doing the right things and actions in your life. And I've learned that I just choose to do that in real estate. That's really it, you know. And yes, I do earn a good living from it. Like, there's no doubt I don't earn a good living, but do I work hard? Absolutely, absolutely. There's no to come into real estate, and that's the unfortunate thing, because it's been so glamorized now. Like, it's not, you know, it's just nice cars and nice phones and nice clothes, and I go sit in the coffee house because that's all people see you do. Usually, because we're such a public arena, but no one hears or sees what goes off. Like if you knew what went on behind the doors, like some people, like I've had people start with me when I was in business, and they said they're just going to go outside to their car for a minute and not come back. And not come back, and not once did that happen. It was multiple times, because it's like real estate's like just jumping on the treadmill and it's already going flat out. But there's no, I'll get into it and I'm just going to feel my way and find my way and do a little bit of part-time. You are on. And if you're not resilient in that space to that, because you get told no a lot, you know, but the no's, you know, and again, it's the mindset thing, you know, are the no's leading me more to yeses? There's a whole bunch of mythology and training around the back end of that. But, you know, where to from here for me? Like, I'm going to really enjoy life, you know, like, it's now going to allow me to be a little bit more choosy of who I want to be around. Whereas when you're in business, you can't necessarily be that. Like if they're coming through the door, it's like you've kind of you're on with it. And I don't want to come across arrogant, or I don't want to come across snobby, and I don't want to come across in any way other than I just want to be true to what I want to do and who I want to be around. That's just it, flat out, mate. Because like it or not, if the naysayers hear this and they hear that, they do that too in their own version. Everybody does that in their own version. Yeah. So for me, it's just really about probably coming back a gear, maybe two, but I don't know if I'll enjoy coming back 2 gears. I more need the energy because I thrive in that kind of space. But for me, it's really just getting the quality of life for me back in again, to get me back, to a capacity, and then, just live my life how I want to be. That's it, pure and simple, and the vehicle I'm in is real estate.
Yeah. Oh, and we live on an economic planet, mate. That's the thing. People create stories. I had them. I used to create them around money and different industries. And it's a case of value, perceived or not, and how you can do that and how you apply that. Yeah. Like I can help a father turn his entire life around so that he does that. I help him turn his life around on his terms.
So you give the tools.
Yeah. And it's he's holding up our Primal Power books. They're amazing. Yeah. Those listening, I'm sure you'll see it if you're following us.
Absolutely.
As well as the Power course. It's it's incredible what we've done there. But and then he could go and turn around and we've had this. We've had dads do this. There'll be dads probably listening to this where their businesses thrived.
Yeah.
So I've helped him make more money.
Yeah.
But it might be perceived as being better because I'm a health coach or something. Well, I don't like that term, life coach. Fuck that means, but yeah. So no disrespect to those life coaches listening right now.
Excuse me. Yeah.
That's why we have the 5 pillars. Yeah. Like I'm not here to just pump people up with motivation, make them feel good, and I'm sure there's more to that than that. But what we do is real. It starts with the body as well.
Yeah, absolutely does.
Big time. But it's.
Well, I said it to you off air before there. I like you. With what you're doing right now, it takes a very special human being to do what you do, and you have that. Like you actually have that, and it's actually a gift that you actually need to share. Like it really is. And I said it to you off air. You make sure you go after what it is you're doing, heart and soul, because the way that it is being received, and it will continue to be received. Like I'm a big fan, mate. Like I've like I said, you said it before. We met 6 years ago. I've seen you go through what you've gone through with your gyms life, and I've actually now seen you come through all that, and it's the happiest I've seen in the window of and you're like you got this new aura, this new energy, this whole revive thing, and you just keep on giving. Like it's pretty incredible, really. It really is. Yeah, it really is.
I appreciate it, mate.
Yeah. And, it's a privilege to be around. It really is.
It's it's something that I find from Mum giving her heart and soul to so many people, and she is that big. I call her Mama Bear. It really is, but it burnt her a lot, Craig, because she didn't invest in herself as much as she should. Mum might be listening to this. She knows. I tell her. I help her. We work together in helping each other. She helps me heaps, and I help her. And
pardon the F-bombs, Mum. Sorry.
Yeah, that's right. I help her invest in herself. It's you, Mum. It's your life. You've had 4 boys. You started at 21 having kids. Yeah, it might have been a bit more like that back in the day, but we're here and now.
Yeah.
And that's a great trait that I learned from her. And then having a stubborn, aggressive Italian father. If he's listening. Having the old bull, the cynical, he not that he's cynical, but having that devil on the shoulder, it gave me that balance. But it's something where, I choose not to live in a world, Craig, where there's eggshells in my life. Yeah. Fuck that. I'm not going to walk on eggshells, mate. Like this is it.
Walking on eggshells hurts, mate.
Yeah, it does. If people don't like me or like what I'm saying or seeing, that's fine. They come into my environment, my world. There's a lot of dads listening to this who've experienced me in RDM. Yeah. They know where the heart lies with it all. You can't lose. You'll fucking win. Yeah. You will. Yeah. And I see that in people as well. It's why we're here. It's why I've maintained such a great relationship. Yeah. I see the gifts and the value while still protecting and maintaining my frame. That's the hard part that has hurt Mum a few times over the years. But having that gives me this lens to see not people as they are, but what they can become.
Yeah.
You know, in a light that doesn't affect me. Dads can win tomorrow. Fucking amazing. I'm still on the level.
Yeah.
Dads will lose tomorrow. Fuck, what can we do to get better? I'm still
Yeah.
on the level.
Yeah.
But seeing them for what they can become, not what as they currently are, it's a huge lift for them as well.
Absolutely.
Because they see someone else seeing that. So then, like you said, even in these times, they can reflect and go, why can't I see that in me?
Yeah.
And it's like, no. How can I see that in me?
Yeah. Well, sometimes expressions, it's there, isn't it?
Yeah.
You can't see the forest for the trees because it's actually right in front of you. It really is, you know. And sometimes it just takes a knock and a shove to get someone in space, or a bit of a, come on, get going, you know, get yourself out of it. You know, so we all need people to surround. When Nan's on an island, you know, I've been through some dark times in my life, and I'm very lucky that I've got great people around me and mentors around me as well. You got to surround yourself with the right people. You know, that's all you need to do. Usually, I find who it hurts are the people that don't want to come with that. That they want to be. They're happy to stay on the low part, and when you try and move away from that, that's where the angst can come in. They want to try and pull you back into that. They don't want you getting away, you know, from all that. And you know, I say don't listen to that. Like, just that's poison. That kind of poison, that'll poison your soul. And that's where resentment can come in, and that's where the poor me starts coming in, because you got to break yourself away from that. You know, because unfortunately there are poisonous people out there. You know, and sometimes the poisonous person isn't necessarily a very obvious person either.
Yeah, I've noticed that.
You know,
my life, the ones who may appear to support you, they actually don't.
Yeah.
Just quite fascinating. But you work on yourself and your frame, which sounds like you've done an amazing job since you're a teenager. And
well, a lot of this wasn't around when I was like, you had to really go out and look for it.
Yeah.
You know, if you were seen with a self-help book in front of you, you're a pansy, mate. Yeah, Prof, what are you doing? It's like, well, no, hang on. No, I want to be better. And the only way I know how to be better is I have to go and learn from someone who does it better than me. Because where else am I going to learn? You know, and this is what's marvelous about the world today. There's guys like you there, and I got to tell you, it is about time that someone did it for dads. There really is. It is about time that someone's done it.
Yeah, it's something with an ambition of a global message, Craig, and that doesn't mean I have to have 5 million dads, but the global message of fathers investing themselves. They be 100 first, then everyone else gets 100. And they be that 100 through investing in themselves in a holistic and genuine way. So they don't be that 100 through detriment of destroying family and relationships. No, through claiming back their time, their life. This is your world, Craig. It's your time. Fuck, mate, we're nearly halfway through the year. First Crazy, year of the decade. I'm getting shirts made up. The decade of dads. We're already halfway through the first one, mate. Pretty unreal, you know?
It is.
It's gone so fast. Even with all the stuff going on where people are bored or they're spending more time, it just, for me, it feels like it keeps going faster. Every year it just goes faster.
Mate, it gets faster. I don't know how to put the brakes on that part.
Yeah.
No, I really don't. And but you know, I just don't want to see the dads get left behind anymore. I don't. Because I reckon we're being left behind for too long.
Karina even spoke about it when because we're getting ready for our third, not too far away, but she said all the times she's gone through. Yeah, I know, mate. Number 3. Said all the times that she's gone through, never once. This is going from Corinne, who's very strong as a woman in herself. I'm not saying she's an extremist feminist, but she's just very strong.
She is. Yeah.
And she said, not once have I ever heard them ever ask how you are, Al, or ever ask about the husband, ever.
All right.
In all of those arenas. You know, I'm not saying that's the case everywhere. Maybe different hospitals or different practitioners, different doctors. Maybe they're all different. But it was an interesting point. You know, because that seems to be a pattern where, and this is not taking away from what she's gone through. She was saying it to me, not me to her.
Yeah.
She went through all the horrific stuff of cesareans, all that sort of shit. And she was saying, that's something I've actually noticed. That we have mental health checkups, all the women do. But how many are out there for men?
Not the dads.
Yeah, you know, very interesting. No. So it's
no, we're supposed to be right.
Yeah, that's right. Or selfish. How dare you think about yourself while your wife goes through this?
Yeah.
But again, it's a dangerous trap though that some men fall into, because then what do they become? Like you said earlier, they can fall into that victimhood. And they don't even know.
No.
That's what I love about what we do. It's standing up. What can you do? Claim your fucking life. Stand up, liberate yourself, have that responsibility, take ownership, and move forward.
Yeah.
You know, and what have you found? I mean, it's been awesome chatting to you, Craig. We spoke for like 2 hours before this as well. Just press record for 3 hours. But what are some personal things that like, or mantras, or like, do you have like not a system, but like, is there something that's helped you that you might just offering your 2 cents? You know, Dad's listening out there, things that have helped you mentally or physically, or stuff like anything that you want to share, mate. Rituals, routines. I'd love to get your thoughts, or if you have.
Yeah, sure. So I have a. So it was a mantra that was put to me from my father, was passed on my father. And it's a mantra you got to be careful with. But he was always said, if you're going to do the job right, do the job right, or don't do it at all. Right? So that was number one. Now, there's a danger in that because you can actually become too much of a perfectionist. So you got to be careful of that, because, you can't let perfect get in the way of getting started, because perfect can get in the way. And I see it all the time where perfect gets in the way of getting started. That's another one. But in the morning when I wake up, so like I'm grateful. Like you hear it all the time. I'm grateful. I'm grateful this. I'm grateful that. Everyone got on the grateful bandwagon. But I'm grateful for what I got. I am grateful for my family. But when I wake up in the morning, like the first thing, like I listen and I think to myself, right, I'm going to go get some of it. I don't the clock and sure, the clock can beat you up a little bit when you're fighting the buzzer a bit. But I choose in my life, you can either be a victim or you can go after victory, and I choose victory over victim any day of the week. That's it for me. I want to be victorious over my life. I don't want to be a victim in it. Yeah. And some days, sure, my energy is not as good, and some days, I've been beaten up through the day because this is pretty high pressure what I do, and I'm not just dealing with the one person all the time. Like, so at the moment, like if I'm I'll be dealing with 35 vendors and their challenges and their story and everything, their pressures, and all that, everything that comes with that. And then, so for me, if I'm not right in that, how can I give to them? How can I be there for them? So, but really for me, my number one really is I choose to be, I want to be victorious in my life, not a victim. That's it, through and through. That's what works for me. Because even when I've had people say, because my next door neighbour thinks I'm the Terminator. She's like, how do you get up every day? At the same time you're like, she said, I just can't believe it. I said, well, that's because I want to get up. I don't want to go and get some of it. I don't want to wait for it to come to me, because you know what? I actually know it's not going to come. Like, because this thing is miseducating everybody that you think it's going to come, and it's going to be easy. And here's the shortcut, and here's the silver bullet. There's no silver bullet.
For those listening, Craig was holding up the phone, and man, it's
sorry. You've got it. It's not on that, and it's going to come to you. Like you've got to get up and you got to go get it. That's it.
It's I love it, mate, and it's so true. It never comes to you, and you're getting it. Like even to get to where I am now, I've had to do tenfold of what I thought I needed to do, and I've had to become literally like shedding the version of who I was, burning that and going, all right, rise up. Who must, and now it's almost like it's a game to a degree, but I treat life lightly in many areas, but I also have a lot of intent, and
you do.
Intensity. But when I look at it, I'm like, okay, what does this version of Al look like? Who must I become to have X, Y, and Z in my life, family, self, and service? So it almost becomes that game. Okay, so I need to be that. So I need to up-level this. And as soon as I started doing that, everything changed. Even my videos from a year ago, completely different.
Yeah,
and I thought I was a good speaker. Last year, 1,000 videos.
Yeah.
Completely different. And it's just like, wow. And then I started to sound like, of course people can walk on the stage 50,000. Look at the version of who they are and how they see themselves. They know that shit. They know what they're talking about. It's easy. They can walk onto a stage and go, well, I'm going to deliver some fire here because it's just how I wake up.
Yeah.
And I love that. Do it right. Don't let perfect get in the way of getting started. And get up and get me some. Yeah. I say that with, I don't think it's hashtag, but I just say we rise to win.
Yeah.
I get up to win.
I like that. So what is that? I was going to ask, what's your mantra?
Yeah.
What's your mantra?
Geez, mate, put me on the spot here. Yeah. There's lots. There's lots of different ones. I think I tap into it from a variety point of view on where I'm at with everything. That is one of them that I do. I get up and I'm here to win. So I'm not here to survive. I'm not here to exist. I'm not here to survive. I'm not here to compete. I'm here
Yeah.
to win. It's a
Yeah.
channel. There's four.
Yeah. Yeah.
And there's plenty of days where I fall into the competing. But if I go out there to win every single day, even if I get punched in the face, I'm still competitive.
Yeah.
If I go out to compete, I get pulled back and I get into survival
Oh,
mode.
yeah.
That's been my life for a long time.
Yeah.
So I go out to compete, and so when it hits me,
take a little note there.
so when it hits me, it's like, man, I'm only competing. So because I'm going out with that energy, I'm going to pull back to survival mode. If I have that on a compounding level, all of a sudden I'm like, fuck, what am I doing? Where am I going? I'm just existing. Now, look, having a days where I feel like I'm existing hasn't happened since I started RDM, funnily enough. And like you said, with the aura and how everything's changed. But there is something I do say every single day, and it's a little bit deep. I'll share it, and people can take what they want from it. Yeah. Again, it's I'm here and now. I've got nothing against science or the spiritual wizards. I'm somewhere in the middle with a big sweet spot. But what I do say is, I am an infinite being with unlimited power to create the reality that I choose in this life. Yeah. And then I also back that up with, I am love and power here to help those around me expand and be the best they can be. Those two things. That's what I say. I say that, and
that's fair.
And I say it plenty of times.
Yeah.
Like, well,
I've heard you say it plenty of times too.
Yeah,
that's
I'm here to create the reality that I choose in this lifetime. And the whole sense about being an infinite being, well, it comes down to just recognizing energy. It's not about talking about floating around with a tail and being like Casper. Like, people can have whatever they want, but right now, that's not my problem. Yeah. That's not my concern. And I guess that's the line that I take with a lot of people who do tend to live in that, because it becomes fantasy, Craig.
Yeah.
You want to be a Buddhist monk and pray for 40 years? Awesome. Well, if you want to reach a higher level without being rude, why don't they just get there now?
Yeah.
I'm not saying people should go and do themselves, but what I'm saying is we're here to have a human experience.
Yeah, absolutely.
So what I do is tap into that realization that experience is in itself finite. So fucking live it.
Yeah.
Live it, man. Enjoy it.
Yeah.
And
well, we only get one shot at it. So you might as well start now. Like, don't wait. What are you waiting for? That's what I reckon. What are you waiting for?
Yeah.
Get old?
Yeah, mate. Yeah. And then when you couple that with, striving for all these things we talk about, greatness and wanting to be here and help those around us and help ourselves, living our life. I also ask the question, I say to these dads, if the dads are listening here, I'm like, well, fuck, mate, what's the alternative? What is the alternative to that? Why wouldn't you want that? Got groceries at the shops ages ago, probably 2 months ago, and an old lady says, do you have a rewards card? And I said, life is the reward. I said, she was an old lady too. Had checkout chick, but she was probably 60, and she said, it's a good outlook to have. I said, what's the alternative? Mate, she was dumbfounded.
Yeah,
she didn't know what to say. I was like, see ya. I just couldn't believe it, but it's the truth.
Yeah.
You pull away, you're further away from where you were before. Yeah. It's going to take you even more time to get there. You've lost time in the process. Yeah. You're even weaker than you were before, and you believe yourself less.
Yeah.
You're older. Like, it's like 4, 5, 6, 7 reasons why you shouldn't even consider the alternative.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. Plan, like, there is no plan B. And when I said that once, I copped a bit of stick on Facebook from army men, because they're like, oh yeah, but what if something happens here? I said, I'm not talking about that.
But they're in the army then, aren't they?
Yeah.
You guys are there.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, they're the backs up. Yeah. But they say that. But my point is, everything they said was under damage control. That can be factored into your plan A. That's my point. The plan A isn't a direct straight line. This is what's going to happen. You know that. It's all these fucking squiggly lines and ups and downs. And
I get up and I get up some days and I go, right, I'm going to get some of it. And I go, I'm at breakfast and having time with the family, and I think, I'm going to go out today and I'm going to do this. I mean, I map out this day in my head, and then I have a completely different day, and it was so far from what I thought I was gonna have, and it's quite like, I'm talking like it's north and south. And some days that absolutely blows me away that you can get ripped that far away, and that's okay for that to happen. You just got to be able to accept that. But for some people, that's not an acceptable thing, because that can bring a lot of stress and a lot of anxiety as well, I find.
Yeah.
Well, sorry, mate. I've done rookie error. Sorry, everybody. So anyway, pardon me. So again, it's just, you've got to get up and get back on with life, mate. We've got to. Well, like you said, what is the alternative? I know. I've looked at some of the alternatives, mate, and I don't want that.
No.
Like, with all due, like, I'm going to say, fuck that.
Yeah.
Especially when you can do something about it.
Yeah, that's the crazy part, isn't it?
Yeah.
And then it comes down to that level, which I've spoken about heavily lately. My last episode, self-belief. Like you'll only ever do what you believe you can do.
Yeah, here's one I'll share with you, right? So, Carlos, he's Brazilian, right? So South American. We've been together about 22, 23 years, darling, if you're watching. So I always remember her mother when she first came to visit, right? And she was walking, and she doesn't speak English. She's walking down, and I said, and she had this real puzzled look on her face. And I said, I asked your mum what's wrong. And she goes, Mum, what's, she goes, no, she's all right. I said, no, I think you better ask her because she's actually looks like she's a bit puzzled about something. And she goes, where are all the poor people? Because she's walking through the streets. You wouldn't walk through the streets where she lives, right? So, and I said, well, what do you mean where are all the poor people? Because she couldn't believe there wasn't any fences, like any 8-foot fences with barbed wire on them to stop people getting in to the properties. And I said, look, in our country, and this is, and this is what I feel, and I'm only going to speak about our country because there are other countries that have other great things in place. But in this country, and this is why our immigration loves coming here, and I'm not going to get too political here, you can have whatever the fuck you want. I want to go do a course. Great. You can rock up to well, it's not the Dole office now, it's whatever that office called, the RMS, and that you can go and sign you up. They can steer you can go get training, you can go do this, you can get a grant. Mate, you've got so much at your fingertips here to actually... mind you, they don't make it, it's not that far out there that you could go and get it. But in this country, if you want to go and have it, you can go and get whatever you want and get yourself educated and get a fucking degree. And but you've just got to want to go out and find the starting point. But maybe people don't know where the starting point is. Where do you start? But that's what blew her away. And I said, it's kind of like in this country, I'm not going to say it. Sorry. Yeah, I'm not doing that bit. I'm not doing that.
But
bit. But you know what I mean.
Like, I get what you're saying. It's opportunity. There's unbelievable opportunity.
There is unbelievable opportunity in this country. Like even right now after COVID, and I'm going to say COVID again. What a great time to reinvent yourself. What a great reason to invent excuse. Whatever you need to think that you need to change, well, make that change.
No, couldn't agree more, mate. And it's
and don't be shy or bashful to go out and ask for help. Because I think that's one of the things as dads that we, we're supposed to be the macho, and we're not supposed to ask for help, and we're all. Don't be afraid to ask for help. But there's nothing wrong with showing a bit of that side of yourself. There isn't anything asking for help if you need help. I'm not saying you should lean on people. Like that's not necessarily the right thing to do either. But don't be afraid to put your hand up.
Yeah, absolutely.
I don't know where to start. Can someone give me a place to start? Why not? Why not? I'm open for someone to ask me how to get the start. I'm okay for that.
Oh, mate, nothing would impress me more. Like if I had, like I always think I need a bloody media team with the stuff I do. And I was like, if I had someone come over from university or something and they were in digital media, do all that sort of stuff, and came over and just showed that level of hunger and tenacity, I'd employ them right away. I don't care what hardships they're going through because they're showing that willingness, and that's something that's often a rare trait because it shows a level of belief and persistence to go through and get after it, get up and get some, mate. No, definitely see that. And unfortunately, it's the limiting beliefs that a lot of people put in place.
Self-limiting belief.
Yeah.
It's a killer.
Yeah.
Yeah, it really is. And it is a self-limiting belief from the person. Is it how you were brought up? Was it the kids? Was it the school? Is it just you? Is it that thing again of what's coming down the spiral of that? Like how do you decipher? How are we supposed to decipher all that? Because there's this whole generation out there that actually don't know life without that. I know life without that. I knew life without TV, and I knew life when we come into black and white TV. Like I knew life. I know life without computers. I know life with computers. But there's this whole generation out there now that aren't going to know life without that.
Yeah.
And that's kind of sad in a way, because if all that goes, well, whoa, but they're great learning tools. If these tools are used in the right, because I sound like I'm beating them up a bit, but but they can be a great tool to learn. But you've just got to be able to be strong enough to say, today I'm going to read or watch a podcast, or I'm going to better myself in something, rather than just sit there on Facebook and see that, and Instagram, and how beautiful am I, and like all that vain stuff that kind of doesn't really matter.
I think you answered it, mate. That's how you start. Just invest in yourself.
Yeah.
That's how, if you're not sure, that's how you start. And
Yeah.
and even with dads, like, we're not talking about 18-year-olds either. Like,
No.
just invest in yourself. All of the dads who've reached out to me in RDM, they've been willing, keen, committed, and they've shown that and backed that up. And it's okay. Like, no one can say this joke. Like, no one comes walking, talking, and wiping their own ass when they come out of the womb at birth.
No.
Personal success, there's plenty of it. All for it. Great,
Absolutely.
good for you. But self-made doesn't exist to me.
Yeah.
In the context that I explained anyway.
Of course,
like, we all need someone.
Yeah.
No one's born and dies on their own. We've all got something around us.
That's right.
It's funny, isn't it? It's that balance of let's work on ourselves internally. Let's find that around us in our environment. I talk about that a lot.
Yeah.
To help us in seeing what we
because you can get
sometimes-
stuck in that vortex.
Yeah.
I've seen people get in that self-help vortex.
Yeah.
Like, that's not the safe place either.
Yes. Yeah.
You know, to be a professional student at that, it's not that you've got to put that into place and maybe that's part of finding yourself. I don't know, because you just got to go out and try it sometimes and get the slap.
Yeah.
I hope so.
Well, you're nearly 50, mate. You've got so much more life to give.
Yeah.
And to live.
Just getting started now.
And it's not that I want to wish my life away, but I said that to Corinne the other day. I said, I've always felt like a bit of an old soul. Even when I was young, I wanted to be kids and be a dad.
Yeah, you're an old soul.
Old school and mature and all that sort of stuff. I can joke around, but I was like, I'm really excited if I look after my health and my body and what I'm doing and the value I continue to give without expectation return. I'm living my life. I'm really excited for my 40s and 50s and even 60s. One of the dads that I trained at my old gym, like, he's in his 70s, got bricks for abs.
Yeah, really?
Phenomenal shape, massively successful, his own paint company and a couple of Ferraris and all that sort of shit. That's awesome. He enjoys the toys, but Think and Grow Rich, he gave me his copy of the book. It's Old and Falling Apart. And all these things that he used to tap into investing in himself when, in those times, which would have been the 60s when he was starting his business, was not a good move, or not suggested. Late 60s, I think. And he got out and got after it. And now in his 70s, when he just had his 71st birthday, I think it was H, our performance coach, was training him. He's like, so what's on the cards now, Steve, mate? You're going to start? So he's like, I'm just thinking of the next investment and the next move I'm going to make. A guy in his 70s. And I was like, and H told me, and I was like, you're fucking oath. I was like, retirement doesn't exist to me the way it's portrayed. It doesn't exist to me.
No. I find when guys retire, they seem to lose purpose. And they go pretty quickly.
Yeah.
Yeah. You've got to have that purpose. What you are, what you think about all the time, right?
Yeah. Absolutely. Mate, it's been awesome having you on.
Yeah, great. Thanks for having me. Thanks for having me.
It's been really good. I hope you guys got a lot of value out of this and enjoyed it. I certainly did, mate. Yeah, it's something that it just makes it really, well, that's all I do, Craig, and I focus on that and that energy in RDM and people around that. The podcast I did with you, with Shannon, the other dads that I've had on before. Yeah. It just reinforces such a powerful thing. Like, being right here and now, like, I wouldn't be thinking that I need to sanitize my hand every 5 seconds and coronavirus is here and people are dying and people are in hospitals. And I'm sure there's lots of different realities, but the reality for me is what I choose to watch and see on television, which I don't really watch television much anymore, certainly not the news.
I left TV a long time ago.
But if I went and chose to watch the news or listen to the radio, those sources, I am choosing and allowing that perceived or real reality to then become immediately mine, when there's nothing I can do about it. It's not even including me. So why would I even care?
No.
Which is why I love this. Like, with yourself, with Shannon, with the other dads, what I'm doing with RDM, with my family, I'm always investing in my environment. Yeah. That's such a powerful thing, because you've seen it. Even some of my other mates who I don't see as often, I'd like to, but they live further away. They're seeing, like, fuck, how you've changed, man.
Yeah.
You've changed again. You've leveled up again. You've leveled up again in months, not decades. And it's exciting, mate.
Yeah, it is.
What makes me so different? It's choice.
Yeah.
You guys could have it. Other people could do it. They don't have to be.
Everyone can have it, mate.
Yeah. They don't have to be business owners. They don't have to do RDM. They can do whatever they want.
Just know that you don't have to put up with it.
Yeah. And get out and go get some.
Yeah, go get some of it. That's it.
Go get some of it. Thanks again for joining us, mate.
Thanks again, Al. Thanks again,
awesome.
Everyone.
Hope you guys enjoy this and tune in for, if you watch this on YouTube or listen to it on podcast, 6 different platforms, make sure you really dive into all of it and see our other episodes as well. And if you need any time, please let us know. Craig goes holding up the books. Shrew Chauvin, let him. They're awesome. Primal Power 1, Primal Power 2. The RDM Power course, that's something we give to dads for free. It's a massive resource, 30 days of coaching, video, audio. It's all there. If you guys want that, just let us know or email me, alex@realdadmovement.com.au, and I'll sort you out. That's a given. But take care, guys. Thanks again, Craig.
Rock it out.
And, yeah, we will, mate. I'll see you again soon. Cheers.